Hello ladies and gents, welcome back. In this video I'm gonna talk about yesterday's matches between Novak Djokovic and Diego Schwartzman and Alexander Sasha Zverev against Daniil Medvedev. It was the two first matches in the Tokyo 1970 group between these players, and Novak Djokovic and Daniil Medvedev won both of their first matches here yesterday, and Novak Djokovic played the first match against Diego Schwartzman, and Novak Djokovic, his performance was rock solid. It was like a master in action. We saw a Novak with impressive control from the start. The depth of his ground strokes was as we all are used to see him execute those backhands and forehands and make his opponent run from corner to corner, exactly like my idol Andre Agassi did. And he broke Diego Schwartzman's serve 4 times in that match, and it was really not a competition on high level, even though Diego tried his best. But the problem with Diego, if you have no weapons, if you can't put pressure on a guy like Novak Djokovic, you are doomed. And the most important thing, if you don't have a serve, and if you let your opponent take his teeth into his serve, into your serve, especially when you have today's greatest returner across the net, then you're doomed to lose. Because it's not just okay to be a grinder, to be a solid baseline player. Diego needs to direct the ball where he wants, not just to hit the ball back to Novak Djokovic and let him dictate. And his returns was terrible in this match, Diego, and his second serve was a joke. He only won 35% of his second serves, and that's where he lost the match, of course, because a guy like Novak will take that gift and deliver immediately. Novak won 72% of his first serves in and 65 of his second serves. And he returned pretty decent on Diego's second serve. He won 60% of Diego's second serve and 33% of his first serves. And totally made 23 winners and 12 unforced errors. And Diego, on the other hand, he won 63% of his first serves and 35% of his second serves. And he returned not that good in that match, mostly due to Novak's great replacement on his serves. He won only 23 in Novak's first serves and 24 in his second serve, and totally only made 9 winners in that match and 17 unforced errors. So that's not great numbers, not against a player like Novak, who was rock solid. He didn't invite Diego into this match and won pretty comfortable. And now he's gonna face Daniil Medvedev in his second round match, and Diego will take on Alexander Sasha Zverev tomorrow. And then the blockbuster Monday, the super hyped match in advance, the important match in this group, the most important match, because I think that Novak will win or at least get through this group, and the second spot is between Medvedev and Zverev. And we saw in the beginning of the match why this match was so important, because both of the players were very nervous. They made a lot of unforced errors in the beginning. Totally, Medvedev made 10 unforced errors in the first set, and 14 unforced errors in the first set. And Alexander Sasha Zverev made 18 unforced errors in the first set. Daniil made 10 winners and Sasha only 7 in the first set. So they were the only serving game that Alexander Sasha Zverev could relax was when he was serving 5-3 down in the first set. Otherwise all of his service game was put under pressure from Daniil Medvedev. Medvedev took immediately the commando of the match. Even though he made a lot of unforced errors, he was the player who was most aggressive. He just basically took off what he left in Paris. These machine. This he just put a couple of drops of oil in his oiling machine, the Great Russian Wall, and started to play like he did when he took off in Paris, like I told you, and played aggressive, solid, with low margins, and put Sasha on instant pressure with this high pace. And Zverev knew before he entered the match that this is going to be a physical battle. This is not going to be an ordinary match for him. He knew that he's going to run a lot in this match because Medvedev is so solid, he barely misses, he moves great on court, and in the beginning we saw that Sasha Zverev was way too passive in the beginning, but one thing that he should take on and be proud of was his defense in this match, because everything that Medvedev put up against him, he hit the ball back with great, but in the long run he couldn't just keep up with that level. He got tired with this constant pressure from Daniel Medvedev, and he made those critical unforced errors, special double faults in the first set, 6 double faults in the first set, and it was one game where he finished the game with 2 double faults. So Medvedev played great. He broke Sasha totally 3 times out of 9 break point opportunities, and Sasha only once in the first set. I think it was in the first or second game where he immediately broke back. He couldn't take care of his other opportunities, so totally 1 of 6. But Medvedev, when you saw him yesterday, he was very light on his feet. He moved tremendously good on court. He was covering all the court from all the angles, because Sasha really tried to put pressure on me with his serve, but his ball toss is too high, in my opinion. That's why he makes so much double faults. But Medvedev is always there. He tried to serve Medvedev out of the court with angles, but Medvedev was there and put the ball immediately back on play. Medvedev was a very unorthodox playing style with his flat forehand and backhand, and his great serve is very difficult to meet. He reminds me of Mats Wilander, but of course with a much greater serve, because the thing he does against his opponents is exactly what Mats Wilander did in the 80s against his opponents. Make them suffer, make them bleed, make them feel that they want to give up, because whatever Sasha did and tried in this match, when he put the ball in play, Medvedev was always there and just put the ball back in play, put the ball back in there from corner to corner. And Sasha was really frustrated in this match. It's like he had no game plan. But it's so difficult when a player of Medvedev's caliber, when his game plan works, because you're almost doomed from the start. And that's why he was so consistent last year when he won all of those titles last year, Daniel Medvedev, when he won 2 Masters at Shanghai, and he won one at, I think it was Cincinnati or Shanghai. Yes, though I think he won those Masters last year when he had this terrific season and lost the final against Rafael Nadal at both Toronto and US Open. So many people think that Daniel Medvedev is just a defensive player. But you're totally wrong if you think that about Daniel Medvedev, because when he wants to switch, he does that. He attacks, and he's very tactical minded, tactical. He has great tactical skills, and he wears down his opponent bit by bit, and that's what he did against Zverev yesterday. And his way of moving on the court is just out of this world. So if you saw the match yesterday, it was tremendous. Medvedev totally won 74% of his first serves in and 57% of his second serves. He won 31% of his return in Sasha's first serves and 42% of Russia's second serve. That's where he won the match. Because look at look at Zverev's number. He won 69% of his first serve in. It's okay number, not as high as we are used to see Zverev do, but he only won 21% of his second serve. That's not okay against a solid baseliner like Daniil Medvedev, who has great returns, by the way. Not super great, but way over the average. And he only won 26% of Medvedev's first serve scene and 33 of his second serve scene, and totally made only 14 winners in this match and 27 unforced errors. So a lot of unforced errors from Sasha, 6 double faults. Medvedev, on the other hand, made 21 winners and 19 unforced errors. So this match, the number says it all. Poor performance on Zverev's second serves, and Zverev returned not that great in this match. And on the other hand, Medvedev took his chance in Rafa's in. Why do I always keep saying Rafa? I'm going to go into Rafa in a while. He took care of Zverev's serve when he most needed it. So this match, I watched the whole match, it was not really interesting, even though Medvedev made a lot of unforced errors and invited Sasha into the match. I saw from the start that this match is gonna be win by Medvedev, like I predicted. So Sasha can take. What does Sasha need to do to get better? Of course, take care of his second serve, because in the match he tried to serve and volley, and that was very effective on many occasions from the Sasha Zverev's racket. He knows how to volley. He's a great volleyer. He has started to develop his volleying game. So if he can serve a little bit more safer and put his opponents out of the court and finish the point earlier, it will benefit his game a lot. And he will take on Diego Schwartzman in his next group stages match. I think that he will win that match. Not easy, because Schwartzman had troubled him before. So I think that Sasha will win his next round. And the other match between Djokovic and Medvedev, it's going to be a tight battle. Either does Novak what he always does when he's in his supreme beast level mood. He takes control from the beginning, break his opponent, and from there is no way back for his opponents. But if Medvedev can put up a performance like he did against Sasha, not in the beginning, of course, then he will of course lose the first set. But like he did in Paris, he will trouble Novak. But I think that Novak will win this match in 3 sets. But I will not be surprised if Medvedev wins. It could go either way. I give 55-45 in edge for Novak Djokovic. So that's a little preview of the second round matches from the Tokyo 1917 group. And of course, a little bit late, but I'm going to talk about Rafa's performance against Rublev. There was really no doubt about, because Rublev was he was almost on vacation in that match, at least in the first set. He just gave Rafa all the necessary tools. He gave his tools to him. He was without tools in that match. He didn't serve great. He didn't return great in the first set. His forehand wasn't super solid in the first set. So Rafa did what he has to do. Rublev was a little bit nervous. And if you look at the scoreline, it looked like a tight match, but Rafa, in my opinion, didn't make a super clean match either, but it was enough because Rafa doesn't give away so much, and Rublev did that, so he took care of that match pretty easy and comfortable. I'm gonna just take a sip of water here. And it was a normal day at office for Rafael Nadal. And the other match between Thiem and Tsitsipas, in advance, it wasn't the most important match in that group. And I have Thiem as my pick, one of 2 players that's going to go through this group. And the other one is Nadal, of course. Thiem played okay. but Tsitsipas made just too many unforced errors. His backhand was not massive like last year. His serve was okay. He hit too many unforced errors in that match, the young Greek. And the team played better the longer the match went, but it was not the team we saw last year, and definitely not Tsitsipas from year 2019 in that match. But team was more clutch in the biggest moment. He was more solid from the baseline. He made less unforced errors in that match, I think, and it seems like he had almost control of that match. But Tsitsipas is very difficult. He need to work on his backhand, but maybe that's late. But he needs to hit it more flat and not slice too much if you want to cause damage in this next upcoming match. And next upcoming match in group London 2020 is between Dominic team and Rafael Nadal. The winner in that match will win the group, and then Rublev against Tsitsipas. That's also two tight matches. I will not be surprised. Everybody can win against everybody in those two matches, but I think that team can win this match in 3 sets if he gets up to his normal level, and maybe Rafa will win. I don't know. It's 50-50. Tsitsipas really have the knife on his throat, especially like Rublev, but Rublev has a little bit. He feels the pressure. He doesn't feel the pressure as much as Tsitsipas, because he lost against Nadal in the first round. It was an expected loss in my opinion, against Rafael Nadal. But Tsitsipas must win this match, and then he has to take on Rafael Nadal, so he has a little bit more pressure. Maybe Rublev will take that to his advantage. We don't know, but I will give the slightest edge to Tsitsipas, but not with much. 51-49 if you count percentage. So all in all, victories for team Tsitsipas and Djokovic and Zverev in the upcoming matches. And I have nothing more to say. Take care and bye-bye.